Thank you. Okay. Give me 15 seconds, please. This is the new opening.
This is just fun.
Oh, cool.
It's not good news. It's not fun.
Yes, fun.
Not really a fun news. So,
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
It's happening out.
It's happening out, and Jasmine has already started drinking.
Yes.
So I'll tell her that it's for the show.
I am so honored. I'm sitting next to Jasmine, and she is going to be the drag queen du jour of the LGBTQ Democratic Caucus.
Oh my God, how
Yeah.
exciting, Mama.
You and
That's awesome.
you and former Governor Chris apparently are going to. Oh wait, I don't want to start rumors.
I mean, new stuff. I like this.
Right?
That wig is everything, Jazz.
Why?
Just to let you know.
Love the way.
Laying around. You know.
I love it because it reminds me I've got to mop my floors when I get home.
Wow. You can borrow this one then.
Well, good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. Last week, more than 50,000 of you watched our crazy, and boy, are you going to see some crazy tonight. It's 9 p.m., Wednesday, August 4th, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. Let's start It's Happening Out by meeting tonight's host. First up, let's welcome Faye What? She's a radio and television personality and has the popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together, and we're still debating on why we have to do that, but she's working on it. She's a hostess and an MC for many South Florida events, an animal advocate, and owner of Faye's Fur Family. And she's the anchor of the travel news show Happening Out.Travel, and you can see her on the Faye What show Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening, everyone. So happy to be here on another Wednesday night on It's Happening Out. Get vaccinated, mofos. Come on.
Yeah. New Jersey? Yeah.
New Jersey.
Got it. Next, let's welcome Cal Gajraj. He is an award-winning international marketing and public relations consultant. His expertise is in growing a brand and creating e-commerce consumer journeys and launching innovative projects that boost efficiency, expand productivity, and increase revenue growth. You're kind of geekish, Cal. I think. Plus, he is also an anchor at Queer News Tonight, and I'm jealous as all hell because he's just back from Las Vegas. Good evening, Cal.
Good evening, America and the world.
All right, well,
That's
next
it.
up. That's it. Just
That's it.
good evening. All right,
World.
Cal, it's going to be a long night.
went there.
Long night.
Yeah, fine.
All right.
Don't worry.
All right. Now, this is going to be, look at your camera, your picture carefully. Let's welcome Jasmine Pryce Lords. This drag queen is known as the plus-sized Barbie and the bearded beauty. Love those labels. She is the Florida mother of the iconic House of Lords. I want to walk in one of your balls.
We got you.
You can catch her at many popular venues in South Florida, including the newest host at Georgie's Alibi on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Welcome, Jasmine.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. It's been a long time, but I'm happy to be back in this beautiful table with these people. I'm excited to talk some crap.
Yes, and let's talk crap, right? And speaking of crap, let's welcome Paul. No, I'm only kidding. Paul Thomas. He is currently, I've just used crap, and chairman of the LGBTQ Advisory Committee to the City of Miami Beach in the same sentence. A board member of Miami Beach Pride, a board of trustee member of the Point Foundation, and on the endorsement committee of SAVE. Wait, maybe I shouldn't have said crap. I'm kind of regretting that now. He has over 30 years of experience in the healthcare and education fields, specializing in AIDS, HIV treatment, as well as an activist, advocate, and an advocate for marginalized communities. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, everybody. It's my first time here, and I'm excited to be here.
How long has it been since you've said, this is my first time?
It's been a lot. I was gonna say I'm being de-virginized.
I like
trust
it.
you.
Yes,
As a
exactly.
virgin.
Wait, I still went in for the joke. Right, exactly. Thank you, Jasmine. I'm going to like you the best. By the way, I'm going to like you the best.
Fair.
All right, it is. So, good evening, America, and we are the first and most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. There is so much to talk about tonight. Next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, we begin tonight with Happening Now breaking news. Happening Television Network supports our South Florida nonprofit LGBTQ plus health providers. And an outstanding example is some news that we bring you from Care Resource and SunServe. If you need care, Care Resource can help regardless of your health needs, immigration status, religious beliefs, gender, age, if you're insured or uninsured. Care Resource provides a wide variety of LGBTQ plus services, including medical care, behavioral health, dental care, testing and prevention, transgender care, PrEP, Food for Life Network, and much more. At Care Resource, they care for all who need quality healthcare service. And you can join Care Resource right here at Sunshine Cathedral on Saturday, August 14th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. to make sure your family, and what is the most popular and talked about subject in the world, getting vaccinated. And you can do it right here at Sunshine Cathedral against COVID-19 and the new Delta variant, especially as the Delta variant is putting so many unvaccinated people into the hospital. The vaccines are free and are the Pfizer 2-dose mRNA vaccine. Vaccines are open to everyone at Sunshine on the August date for everyone 12 and up with a valid ID. You can get more information on the event from Care Resource or at sunserve.org/vax. What do y'all think about Sunshine and an LGBTQ church doing a vaccine?
I love it. I love it. We've got to get more people vaccinated. I am a vaxxed vag, and you should be too. You know, I mean,
Vaxxed
I'm
vag.
vaxxed, but vag I am not.
You may look it, but
I did put up a post the other day that said if you're on PrEP but you're not vaccinated, you're missing the point.
yeah, you're missing.
Like
the
if you're gonna protect yourself, protect yourself. That's what this vaccine is for.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
I mean, with Sunshine always taking care of the community and doing the right thing. So I'm not surprised. So I'm just grateful that we're going to have the opportunity to work with them and they continuously show up.
so spread the word, because we've all got those friends that are just dense and delusional, you know, and bring them over to Sunshine and get them vaccinated. Both my parents have COVID right now. It is not cool.
Yeah.
And I get calls every day from people who say, it's too late, you know what I mean? I have it. What do I do now?
It's too late.
Too late.
Yeah,
Now you wait 90 days to get vaccinated.
That's exactly
If you live.
If you live.
And please God, we hope you do. But 99% of us that are vaccinated, we are not the ones the news is talking about. It's you that is unvaccinated that everyone is talking about. Come on, we want to get back to some normalcy this
Having
fall.
some fun.
Yeah,
God,
having some
and no
fun.
one is tracking you. You are not that important.
And exactly
God,
right.
like, come
They're
on.
not injecting.
Oh, yeah.
They're not injecting tracking devices in your in your shot.
You'll
'Cause,
see,
like, come on.
While you're carrying a cell phone.
Only Tucker and Sean and Laura believe that. They're the only three people that are believing that. All right.
Hopefully more organizations will follow suit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, speaking of fun, you're watching a live and unedited LGBTQ talk show, so anything can happen. And with look around this table, probably something's going to happen here. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and click the bell for updates. If you're on Facebook, come on, like and share this video. Let your friends, especially your LGBTQ friends and family, know all about this. So let's begin with how we've always begun this show, with a unique meme of the week. And this week it's called, and I haven't seen this, when you use Google Maps at Sebastian Street Beach. Now we're showing it right now. 46 men have been here. 169 men have been here.
They should add that to Grindr for you guys. That would help a lot
it's
too.
Google Maps' new feature. It's similar to Grindr, but not quite the same as Grindr.
Okay.
Jasmine, how do you feel about 179 men have been here?
They definitely are from Wilton Manor. I feel like.
Oh, come on.
Whoa! Wait,
all know.
was that Dade County Shade? That was Miami-Dade County Shade, wasn't it?
It's the Miami-Dade County.
Yeah.
We know the truth. Just saying.
All right, fine. I don't know why I'm accepting that. Oh, mostly because it's probably true. All right.
We've all had to leave the bars at the end of the night. Pretend we not see nothing.
Does that attract more people or detract more people?
Yeah.
Like, what are they trying to do with that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. What are they trying to do?
I'm a good Christian woman.
Okay, we're just going to leave it there. You're a good Christian woman. All right. And It's Happening Out, as you know, we're part of the Happening Out television network, Hotspots Magazine, and WMEG Events. Hotspots is celebrating 35 years of the LGBTQ experience, and now we're all merged. Kind of like a mosh pit kind of thing. We bring you the best of LGBTQ news, of entertainment, and events that support our LGBTQ plus community. And we're just one of the implementations of that. Well, who needs a drink? This is my favorite part of the show. Everybody ready?
Oh, you guys need a drink. I know it. I know it. You look thirsty.
Exactly.
It's been a long day.
He put his hand up quick.
Speaking of thirsty, Paul, I'm looking at you right now. Thirsty? All right. Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. You know, next month, we are going to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of It's Happening Out.
Wow.
3 years already.
September 20th will be our 3rd year of this.
Wow.
And we have opened the show, every single show for 3 years, with alcohol. Who'd have thunk? All right, I'm getting ready to ask these Jasmine, you're not shocked, are you?
Just take
A little tears coming down your cheek.
Drag and alcohol, they go hand in hand. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. All right. So I'm going to ask these hosts 4 questions, and if they agree with the question, they take the shot. And I assure you, this is lighter fluid that we're getting ready to take here in front of us. And when you watch Jasmine do it, she's going to go, wait, is this Perrier? I can't tell. And if you don't agree, you don't touch the shot. But if you disagree, Jasmine, it's going to be a long night for you and me.
And if you don't agree, I'll take your shot later.
Yes, exactly. Right. All right. So everybody ready?
Ready.
All right. Then let's play I'd Swallow That. I'm getting ready because I'm slamming.
Okay.
All right. Okay. A new study shows that gay men make less money than straight men. Question 1. I'd swallow that. I was not surprised to learn that a study over the last 8 years proved straight men make more money than me. I wasn't surprised.
So we drink if what?
If you agree.
If we agree.
If you're surprised, I wasn't surprised.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Marginalized folks are always making less money than everybody else. Come on.
Wait. I'm going to talk about girls in a moment, but give me a moment on that. Cal, you didn't take the shot, so I'm going to zero right in on you. You're not surprised?
I'm not surprised. I think that it'd be interesting to see where the survey results came from because
Australia, Europe, and North America.
Okay.
Canada, U.S.
Because I think that work choice has a lot to do with that as well. I've been fortunate enough to work in corporate America for over 15 years now, and I do know what some of my counterparts make.
Wait, did you just say just because I work for Rent Boy or Rent Men that I'm making less money than my straight?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you decide to work, at Forever 21, I mean,
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but you can't compare yourself to someone who works in corporate America who makes 6 figures.
However, how many people in our community are not offered the same opportunities to have that chance because they're queer and they have to?
No, absolutely.
I mean, you are very fortunate.
Yeah.
We're good friends, and
And you got education.
You're definitely an example of somebody who's been able to break that stereotype. But I'm not surprised that a lot of our community are in situations where they have to take a lower pay.
I honestly think that we should take this as a call of action moment through all of the rest of the show. We attack Cal at every opportunity.
Let's do it.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
I was just wondering though, like how many corporate America out gay people do you work with? right?
Quite
And
a
then-
few. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
Cal works with a lot.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
gay
work
and
in a gay
straight.
environment? I don't know.
Yeah,
I also
and
work mostly in the arts.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's,
you work in the arts.
well, I used to, I've worked in arts, I've worked in healthcare, entertainment, retail, so there's a variety of folks, but I also think it's you get what you put into it as well. And I've been very career focused. So I know that what I bring to the table. So it's very interesting when you learn, what other people make in their salaries.
Actually, and now I want to come to you because there's an interesting twist on this study report. 8 years, they analyzed data from 2012 to 2020. What they found in this exact same study, that lesbians made 5% more than their straight counterparts.
More?
More.
That makes sense.
And the survey suggested that there is kind of an innate discrimination going on. Interesting, and I'm curious, Cal, of your reaction to it, that among men, in gay men versus straight men, there is discrimination of the masculinity factor of gay men, but for women, lesbian women were actually paid more than their straight counterparts because the decision makers thought it was important, or thought that lesbian women were more masculine. Now, the study's authors are theorizing, they can't prove that, but that's what they thought. What do y'all think about that? That lesbian women...
Yeah, it's a similar conversation. We talk about acceptance. It's usually easier for people to accept a lesbian because they're embracing the masculinity. And for more macho people, it's harder for them to accept the person being gay because they see femininity as weak and they see gay men as leaning towards femininity and being weaker.
Cal, I'm curious, what do you think about that observation?
I think it's interesting because in my career, working in both corporate America and nonprofit, for-profit, and working with gays and straights and lesbians, I have seen that there's been more successful gays and lesbians in those work environments because they work longer hours, they're more committed.
They put more into it.
They put more into it, and they don't have a lot of, I guess, outside influences. And I hate to say this, but they're not married, they don't have kids, they don't have, these other responsibilities that some other, people
So they can
may
be more
have.
focused.
So they're more
More,
focused,
you
they
know.
don't take PTO time, and they're favored by their superiors.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that I see that are getting the promotions and getting the big
and
jobs.
Faye, what do you think
Well,
about women making more, lesbians making more money?
Lesbians making more because women in general still make only 80 cents on the dollar when it
Yeah.
comes to men. But for women, I think that you get the best of both worlds with a lesbian woman, with a masculine, with a butchy lesbian woman, not this girl. I can't even put up a shelf, and I only go to Home Depot once a year, So my point is that, I think you get the best of both worlds.
You went to Home Depot this last week.
Twice. Twice. But you get the hardworking masculine side of it, but you also get the motherly, warm heart kind of part in it.
Right.
And I think that may, go very far in the world,
Yeah.
in the professional world.
Yeah.
And I think that they voice what they want. This is what I want. I deserve to get paid more. This is what I deserve. This is what I should get.
Your premise there is that gay men may not speak up for themselves
They may
as
not.
much as more masculine women,
Yes,
lesbian
exactly. They may be more in fear that they may lose their jobs.
women. Yeah, very interesting. Well, let's move on. This past weekend, the trailer for House of Gucci dropped. And from the bad accents to the over-the-top dialogue, the internet has paid homage with memes because, of course, it's question number 2. I'd swallow that. I love the silly reactions to the House of Gucci trailer, and I can't wait to see it. What do y'all think? Are you excited about the House of Gucci?
Yes.
Yes, of course
What
I
is
am.
it again? What is it?
The House of Gucci, like clothing,
First off,
Gucci.
it's
Oh,
it's a
Gucci.
clothing
Okay,
line.
I know Gucci, the designer.
I know Paul.
Yes.
Paul probably named his dog Gucci,
you
and now
know
he's
this
just
is
like, oh,
that-
Gucci. Oh,
Do you know one of the
drunk?
principals? The first one kind of hit me pretty hard. actually.
Lady Gaga's in it, Paul. Lady Gaga's in it. Need I say
Now
more?
he signed up.
I know,
Well-
Paul, this is going to come as a shock to you, but one of the principal founders of the House of Gucci was a Studio 54 girl.
Nice.
He was a Studio 54 girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're not
know them.
looking. Now you're looking forward to seeing the House of Gucci. What do y'all
I'm
think?
always looking forward to
I'm
that.
gagged. After Halston, I am just
I know.
thirsty for something else like that.
Halston
And
was
with Gaga in
incredible.
it, please.
Incredible. Incredible.
And
Yeah.
Jared Leto, right? Is he's in it too or something? Like, oh, come on. I'm all about it.
Everybody's
I'm
in it.
all
There
about
are a
it.
lot of actors that are in it. I can't wait. I think it's November it comes
Yeah,
out.
November. It's not Cinderella, but
But close,
Big
baby.
Red.
But close.
But it's Gucci.
yeah, it's Gucci.
It's Gucci.
How does the drag community feel about Gucci?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for the drag community, but I mean, unpopular opinion, I do not like Lady Gaga as an actress. As an actress, she's an amazing
Oh my God,
artist.
don't turn off her camera, guys.
I'm not excited for this.
Well, that's another episode of It's Happening in America.
I love her. I love what she stands for. I love that she's always voicing her opinion. She uses her platform. Like, I have so much respect for her as a person, just as an actress, it's not.
Can we go?
You didn't like her in American Horror Story? You didn't like her in... No?
Can we go to commercial?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm a little verklempt and I've got a few tears.
I was sitting here
coming out
quiet.
of
You
my-
asked.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll accept that. All right. Let's move on. The new Jungle Queen. No, I live in Fort Lauderdale,
was
so
looking
that's
at
why I
me.
said that. Right?
Like the Jungle Queen.
The new Jungle Cruise movie offers a lot more than the backside of water to entertain us. Get the joke? That was compliments of David Hopkins in production, including some subtle but welcome representation for LGBTQ. Question number 3. I'd swallow that. I want to climb aboard Disney's gay Jungle Cruise. I love that question. Oh, we're all doing that. We're all climbing aboard.
We're all doing it.
That doesn't sound very enthusiastic.
Well, because it's like I can't drink half the shot,
Wait,
so
did
I
you
guess
say,
I will. I said, like, I love that they have a conversation where one of them says that they might be gay, and I love that, but it didn't get to anything. It didn't actually say it, and it's a little for Disney, thank you, but like, why give me crumbs when I deserve the whole plate,
So, I mean, but like they're coming a long way. So when we think about the last Beauty and the Beast movie, where they definitely played LeFou so much more queer, like they never discussed it, but we're making the right steps. Like we're getting there, and they have the characters at the end who are put in drag. We're getting.
The point, it's a step in the right direction.
Right, step in the right direction, and they go full dive into the pool when you see the brand new trailer for Cinderella. Because they have dived into the pool. Just released today.
Oh, cool.
It is breathtakingly
It's
about
spectacular. Spectacular.
Well, anything with Billy Porter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Fab G is Fab G.
We're going to see a lot of Fab G people on Wilton Drive for Halloween,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
for Halloween,
absolutely.
for sure,
Wait,
everybody.
not
like
to
a
bring-
corset and a bra type version.
Yeah. Right, exactly. All right. When openly gay shot put star competitor Raven Saunders overcame mental health issues to win the silver on Saturday. Wait, am I beginning to slur my words just slightly?
Just a tad, honey.
Just a tad. On silver.
I mean,
On
silver
Saturday.
Why are you stopping me, Ossifer? Why are you stopping me, Ossifer?
She was obviously happy. We wish her condolences, by the way, on the loss of her mother yesterday. Oh, no. Before we do this question, watch this.
Because you're not supposed to mix silver and gold, but but I do it. I love the fact that I'm still able to add to the medal count to be able to make so many people back at home in Charleston, South Carolina proud. People all around the world proud. People in the LGBTQ community proud. People that are struggling with mental health awareness proud. So I'm just looking happy to inspire and motivate so many other people all around the world.
Raven Sanders, which is not that image, right? Raven Sanders almost committed suicide.
Wow.
Pause. Question 4. I'd swallow that. Lesbian Olympian shot put queen Raven Sanders celebrated her silver win in a way that made all of the American LGBTQ plus community cheer for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheers.
The Olympics.
Yes, Queen. She's my favorite Olympian. I mean, when she won and she started twerking and everything, I was like, yeah, girl, you know? And I just love what she said. She said, I'm here representing Black. I'm here representing queer. I'm here representing, mental illness and big girls. I mean, it was just like across the board. She was there representing to the fullest and won, baby. Got that medal to bring back to the U.S.
Yeah. Right. And what did you think about her crossing her arms at the medal ceremony? That was a violation of Olympic rules. She's under investigation. And basically she said, I don't care.
She already did it. Like,
Well, it's nice that people are bringing their full selves, right?
Yeah.
They're not pretending to be this indestructible Olympian. They're saying, this is all of me, and I have this issue with mental health, and I'm this, and I'm that. And you know what? If they also have an issue with some of the Olympic rules and they decide to cross their arms,
I mean, I love that this
Nothing crossed
Olympics,
their own.
we've seen so many like unprecedented things. Like with, I think it was the German team or the Russian team, who the gymnastics decided to wear full body to cover.
Yeah.
We have the volleyball players, the females saying that this uniform isn't comfortable and fit. Like,
Right.
I love that we're seeing finally.
Why are the
people who, like,
boys getting to wear shorts?
They have a
We're
huge
not?
platform, and for the longest, they've been forced to conform and to stick to this like very archaic way of thinking. And they're using this platform now. I'm like, enough is enough, and I'm so excited by that.
and mental health being the biggest.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Huge.
really being the bigger. They're all speaking out about that, and that's what we need right now more than ever.
Paul, she almost killed herself. Okay,
know.
she tells the story about
so
being behind the
crazy.
wheel and saying, "Okay, I'm going to end it now. I'm going to go down this ravine, and I don't want to live anymore."
And for our
I'm done.
community, that's
many-
way up
And
there.
Black
That's
and brown, you don't ask
way
for
up
help.
there.
We don't ask for help when it comes to mental illness.
Right.
And
Because we're
she,
taught
you know,
what
she
happens at home stays at home.
stays at
Right,
home.
that's-
There
Exactly.
it is. Now wait,
Exactly.
every single person at this table, with the
Yes.
exception of white privilege,
Thanks for
every
recognizing
single
it.
person at this table is black, brown representation of different kinds of minorities, and you don't reach out and you don't have the opportunity, like her situation, to say, wait, do you support me or not?
Yeah.
Right.
This week, and we're into the deep second week, we're watching in incredible ways where we have never seen in Olympics, where there's more LGBT representation, winners, trans. We're going to watch, we're going to talk about that in this show, of a medal winner. We're going to watch tomorrow in Canada in a trans medalist, hopefully the gold. We've never watched
No.
what we are watching.
They're winning even if they don't win a medal.
But that's what I was gonna say. You didn't have to win. Like, I was such a big supporter of Laurel Hubbard, and like, she didn't place, she
Right.
didn't win, she didn't. But she got there, baby,
From
as a
New
trans
Zealand.
woman.
Yeah.
Come on, that's
Weightlifter.
incredible.
And just being able to represent your country is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Olympics is. It's the
Yes.
best of everything. And my favorite thing is always watching the opening ceremony and
yeah.
seeing the parade of athletes and the presentation of all the country's flags, because in that moment, we're all together. You know, it's truly, you know, a spectacular moment to see everyone there supporting the same thing.
And can you imagine that queer kid watching that,
Yeah.
saying from his whole family's telling him he's an abomination, and he
Yeah.
gets to watch himself on TV and say, I can one day represent my
Absolutely.
country.
They can, and they absolutely can.
And I feel like, I think for me as a parent in the House of Lords, and like even with like my community beforehand, like I'm always like talking about the history, and they may have not like didn't have like gay rights 20 years ago that we do today, but like they laid the foundation.
Yep.
So it's important for us to continue to do that, to have people like Hal who are breaking down barriers in corporate America and is being a beacon. Like, yeah, he may not be 100% that person, but guess what? Where he is today is somebody he couldn't have been 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Opening
right.
the door
That's
for the
a
next
bullseye.
person.
That's
And you know what's interesting?
means a lot, thank you.
In terms, it does mean a lot.
That means a lot.
And you know what you're saying in terms of even the representation in a house like the House of Lords.
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, you could not be what you are.
No, not as a bearded queen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're a
Or a
bearded
plus-size
queen,
Barbie.
or plus size Barbie.
Yeah.
You're representing in a whole different way, and we're all going, yes, that's fantastic. So in a way, you're the same representation of what we're talking about here.
And
it's a new modern
And
world.
I think it
for
also
our
goes back
community.
to, I don't know if you saw her tweet, I think it was like yesterday or today, and she said, I just want to give a shout out to older lesbians. I know many of you were not allowed to grow up and live your truth, but you were greatly appreciated. You know, and I think that's really sweet because
that.
she's recognizing that.
And
she's,
constantly thinking about our community.
and yes.
Yeah.
And it's a selfless act.
That for throwing a big ball really far.
Yeah.
Go, girl.
Yeah.
You think a shot put is a big ball?
Yeah, whatever, a little steel ball, whatever. I don't know.
All
Get
right.
it? You're a femme lesbian.
Wait. right? Exactly. We're all reading you at the table.
I feel it. I feel it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Go
Next
team.
Up, right. Go USA.
Go.
Go
Right.
sports.
All right. Go sports. All right. Next up, let's consider the best thing of the week. It's called another.
Uh-oh.
I'm in trouble.
Uh-oh.
It's called Another Pie in the Face. You remember Anita Bryant? I know you do, Paul. Anita Bryant, Well, guess what? We found out this week Anita Bryant's granddaughter is gay.
Of course.
Watch this.
Against gay persons when 4 self-proclaimed homosexuals from Minneapolis interrupted today's proceedings.
If we were going to go on a crusade across the nation and try to do away with the homosexuals, then we certainly would have done it on June the 8th after one of the most overwhelming victories in the country. But we didn't. We tried to avoid it and went into a place called Norfolk, Virginia, and were met with protest and all kinds of problems. And
Security agent, security agent.
No, let him stay.
No.
Let him stay.
well, at least it's a fruit pie.
Let's pray for him right now. Anita, let's pray. Anita, why don't you pray? That's all right.
Father, we want to thank you.
Bryant burst into tears as the pie ran down her face. A little while later, Bryant's husband found the 4 pie throwers in a parking lot talking with newsmen. The 4 still had a banana cream pie with them, and despite his earlier plea for non-retaliation, Bryant's husband took it and threw it in one of the pie throwers' face. Des Moines authorities say no charges will be filed in connection with today's incident. Dennis Walden, News 5.
First off, best thing of the week, I love that we showed that her husband threw a pie in the parking lot of one of the protesters. And Anita, yeah.
So you cream pied a gay man in the face?
Yes. Best thing of the
How many people
Like, he was like, all right, another Saturday night, right?
the queen of orange juice and the queen of anti-LGBT in the 1970s, and it turns out her granddaughter is gay, and we don't know if she invited grandma to the wedding. What do y'all think?
So I know.
I don't believe that's the first gay child in her family.
Probably the first to come out.
Maybe they come out.
Maybe the first to come out,
Yeah.
but maybe that one will help all the cousins go, we were here.
Why are we so satisfied on this story?
Why
do
you
we
know
love
You know
this
why,
story
Al?
so
Because
much?
this would have been a perfect time to come out and say, you know what? I effed up back then. You know,
Yeah.
I have learned from them. I have learned now. I have a granddaughter who's
Even the
out. I
Reagans
love her
did
no
that.
matter what.
Yeah.
And she didn't instead, you know, like so the granddaughter wanted to come out to her, and she still ridiculed her in that coming out on the
She
phone.
did.
I mean, come
She did.
on.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a long time ago, and I really hope, like you mentioned, like it's
not that long. Take it
the
easy.
70s.
Take it easy. The 70s were not that long
Jasmine,
ago.
back me up,
wait,
Jasmine.
child.
I'm only 16. So
But I mean,
Like Rainbow Bright.
who's that?
Jasmine Pryce has just said she's 16 years old.
But
Please
you
don't
gave me
burst that
vodka.
bubble.
she has to be in her 80s by now,
Yeah,
right? She's like
I
80
thought she
or
was dead until
81.
the story came out.
You know,
I had
so-
to look it up.
When we reported this story at Queer News Tonight, I did not know that Anita Bryant was still
Still
alive.
alive.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not
I didn't
So
do
I
that.
think that, you
I'm
know,
glad
time,
she is. I'm
you
glad
know,
you're alive.
time is not on her side. And I really hope that she comes around and she values the relationship of her granddaughter more than her
But she
personal
doesn't.
wait.
It'd just be a perfect
Jasmine,
At the
time.
end
I'm
of the
curious.
day.
Wait,
She has
here's my
time.
curiosity. Before this story that broke this week, had you heard of Anita Bryant? Did you know the Anita Bryant story?
Yes.
Yeah.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's South Florida, right? Because I didn't hear about it till I moved here.
Right in New York, we don't.
because it happened in Miami.
don't-
Well, when I was
Yeah.
younger, I used to volunteer at Pride Lines Youth Services, so something that we discussed.
Oh.
on the
I love
random
it.
thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I love Pride Lines. When I was 16, I was a youth liaison there, so that's why I know a lot of the people that I do know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we definitely discussed it there. But like also, like even like for most of like our family, when we came out, they're probably like, okay, but don't tell your grandmother, or don't like. It's just one of those things like. Unfortunately, that generation's on their way out. They're already set in their ways, and like I can't imagine her changing her opinion after all this time. We already know that. The hope is to teach the future, teach the kids today acceptance and how to move forward,
Yeah.
and paint a better tomorrow. Clearly, she's in her 80s.
Yeah.
She can't have much more to offer.
Some old people have though. It took the Reagans. You know, they were very anti-LGBTQ
Yeah.
and
Even
not
with
very
Rock
nice
Hudson.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took the Cheneys and once a family member came out
Yeah.
that they started to
Yeah.
see things
That's
differently,
right.
see the world differently, and it's I feel kind of sad for her, right? That she's still not able with all these years
Is
of
it-
being
After
in the
that pie
church.
in the
Is
face
it
and being
all
reminded every day.
Wait, is it bad of me that I still don't feel so bad for Anita Bryant? Is that
My favorite part of that video is when they pan to the guy who painted her. Who's like, that's my favorite part.
oh my God, drag queens are everything. They can say things that I just can't say. All right, absolutely the best. All right, let's move on to our segment that we call "What's on Your Mind." Oh my God, after what we've been through already in 34 minutes, what more could be on their mind? Each host is going to tell us in just 30 seconds what is important to them this week. But remember, it's got to be in just 30 seconds, or you're going to hear this bell. So,
Put something in this ear.
Faye, what?
Next week.
It won't help you.
Oh,
Faye,
God.
what's on your mind?
What's
this
on my
week?
mind this week? Okay, anti-vaxxers, you guys are on my mind, but even more so, the lying vaxxers are even more on my mind.
Lying vaxxers.
Yes. Okay, these are the people that claim they got vaccinated, but they really didn't. So they come to our events and they say, "Yeah, I'm vaccinated." Okay, I get it. Maybe you're peer pressured. Maybe you feel bullied by the rest of us that have common sense, right? But own up to your crap. Say that you were misinformed. Say that you were delusional. Say that you were on a binge drunk for 3 months. I don't know, but come clean with it and don't put the rest of us in danger. Get vaccinated and don't lie about it.
Man, that is a soundbite. Gajraj, what is on your mind this week?
Well, I actually just got back from a trip. I was in Vegas the last week for a work conference, and it was
Oh, that's
great.
what we're calling it, a work conference?
A work conference.
In Vegas?
Yes.
Watching Usher.
At the brand new World Resort?
Watching
Yeah,
Usher,
okay.
yeah.
We're giving a few extra seconds because we're reading you
Sorry.
left and right.
The library's open.
Right.
But it was very interesting to see, because when I was there, Nevada went back on to a mask mandate overnight. And it was just very interesting to see how people reacted to having to wear a mask. And it's just very weird to me that people just react in a certain way that's like they think that wearing a mask is taking away their rights and their privileges. And it's like, just wear the stupid mask.
Yeah.
You know, it's not doing anything. You're still gambling, you're still having fun, you're still doing everything, but you could possibly save a life or you could save your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cal.
Okay, and then Jasmine, Pryce, Lords, what's on your mind this week?
So, as somebody who's grown up, I am Puerto Rican, but I don't speak Spanish. I was raised in the hood. I've never been Puerto Rican enough, and that's something that's always on my mind. With the Olympics going on, Jasmine Camacho just won the 100-meter, I think it was the hurdle.
Yes, she
and she's getting a lot of flack for not being Puerto Rican enough and all these other things. So that's been weighing heavily on my mind. I want to say, you know what, we support you. I love you. Thank you for doing what you had to do. You're from North Carolina, and you're Puerto Rican. You have a mixed background, and you're still deciding to represent a tiny island. And no matter what people can say, they can't take away your heritage and your blood. And thank you. You are a winner.
Wepa.
There you go.
Eso.
We're going to have to share that with her. I'm sure she's going to love it.
Yes.
All right, and next, Paul Thomas, what's on your mind this week?
I guess, you know, what's on my mind is information. And what I'd really like for people to do is when they have healthcare questions, call their doctor. Don't turn on the news. Don't listen to like talking heads that have no degrees and they don't know what they're talking about.
WebMD?
Don't ask, as much as I love yoga and all this, don't ask them. Call your doctor who has a medical license and say, should I be vaccinated? And let them help you get to where you need to be. That's what's on my mind today.
Did you just say that Tucker and Sean and Laura are not medical experts?
Yeah,
Did you
imagine.
just say that? Imagine. I love that John Lennon song. Let's play it right now. All right.
Dr. Tucker, Dr. Tucker.
Code Blue, Dr. Tucker. Tucker Carlson. All right, next up, let's catch up with the news from the world of entertainment. A bizarre story this week. Rap star DaBaby, who has collaborated with hit artists like Camilo Cabello, Lil Nas X, Dua Lipa, and many more, had severely homophobic and anti-HIV/AIDS comments at a performance this week in Miami. The iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, Austin City Limits Music Festival, and Atlanta's Music Midtown have all removed the rapper from their upcoming events within hours of each other. Lollapalooza in Chicago over the weekend, Manchester's Parklife Festival,
Yes.
the Governor's Ball in New York City, and Las Vegas's Day in Vegas have all dropped DaBaby last week. Millions of performance fees lost. So our entertainment topic this week is 7 music festivals canceled DaBaby's performance after homophobic comments. What do y'all think?
The who? The who?
What?
He's probably crying like a baby now because he's losing all that money. And first of all, that's a stupid name. He's not even a boy. He's not even a man. You're a baby. Go suck your thumb somewhere. You know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, and his comments were really derogatory.
They
Like,
were super derogatory, but they were also bad information.
Yeah.
You know, just the things that he was saying, like, oh, you don't, get AIDS and you'll be dead in 3 weeks. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what is this guy? I had to rehear it again because I just could not believe that these words were coming out his mouth.
And important, I haven't at a concert sucked dick in the parking lot in
in days?
Somebody put up
that
a great
you?
thing on Facebook. Somebody put up a great thing on Facebook, and they said these rappers, they have PR people and image people and all that. Like, somebody around him had to be able to educate him or go, that's not a good look.
Or by the time he was live and drunk on the mic.
Or he was so cheap to have that person around him, it's destroyed his career.
So I think it might be unrelated. However, I don't know if you follow Miss Toto. She used to be a drag queen down here. She lives in Chicago now, and she was actually booked at Lollapalooza after the fact. So it may be unrelated, but after he was dropped, she was a drag queen, the first drag artist to perform.
You heard it here
All
first. The
right, I
baby. The
like
baby was
that.
I'm not
like
saying it
drag
has to
queen.
do with
Breaking
that,
news.
but it did happen right after everything went down.
Awesome.
So I salute you, Miss Toto. That was amazing. I loved that. I was super excited to see her.
Love that.
Yeah.
Listen, I foresee DaBaby losing a lot more in the future.
As he
Anything else
should.
that's booked, I think it's
Yeah.
going to go bye-bye, and as
Yeah,
he should.
as he should. And it's not necessarily about cancel culture, but we live in this world of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and this is just not right. Like, these artists need to realize who their fans are and who's paying their bills, because without us, they're nothing.
Let me try to advocate for DaBaby a moment. And
Really?
oh my God, this
Are
is
you
one of the
serious?
hardest
Did you
things
drink
I've
so much?
ever done. But let's advocate for a moment his free speech rights. How does free speech interplay here? He can say whatever he wants, and he should be able to say whatever he wants. What do y'all think?
The consequences.
There are consequences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he would be super bad. I mean, it just doesn't. He just went about it the whole entirely just the wrong way. And then not even like Jazz said. Okay, say I made a mistake. Say I was drunk on stage. He hasn't even had like an apologetic kind of like moment
Well,
at all.
he apologized
You know?
twice, but they're actual press statements that have come out written by people like me, because I
Yeah,
could tell.
Yeah,
You know,
you can tell the verbiage.
Right.
If that's the case, I think at this point we are in a community and in a day and an age where an I'm sorry is not okay. Now you need to go back to the community. You need to reach back. You need to uplift. Like, you need to do more than just saying I'm
Have to
sorry.
understand
because
what
you have
you're
now
saying.
used your platform to spread this message of hate and misinformation. And I'm sorry is not okay. Now you need to do the work to rectify that, and that's how we can. You know what? We'll give you a pass. You did what you needed to do to move on. Until then, no, I can't accept it.
And he's not going to do that though, Jazz.
Anita,
Right.
And the
You're
sad
right.
thing is that
And
all
he's
those
not.
things that he said, he truly believed.
Right.
Well, that's the sad part. We're talking about Anita Bryant being very old, and so maybe she's not able to. But this kid is, he's young. I don't even understand. Where are you from in this day and age, at that age, for you to even come out with any kind of information like that?
And
They don't
that's
even
okay.
say, they don't even say the word AIDS, right? And he's so young, he probably doesn't even know what that is.
Let me try to refocus the conversation just for a moment, because we have so much diversity here tonight and it's happening out. What is the issue about minority, people of color, evangelicals in black church, etc., being the most fringed anti-LGBT? What do y'all think about that? That DaBaby was raised in a culture that was the most homophobic, and he is just doing what he was taught.
Yeah, that would be okay if he was in his neighborhood saying that. But he's a music star. You think he's never met a gay person in music?
He works.
You
On
think
the
he's
stage
not
in
on
Miami.
tour?
On
You
the
think
stage
he's
in
not on
Miami.
tour
One of the
with
gayest
gay
place on
people?
earth.
He hasn't been in hotels and parties, and it's impossible
Right.
that he's walking around in a vacuum. He's too young for all of that. I don't give him any excuses. I'm
No
like,
pass.
passes.
No
yeah,
pass.
let him go do some work. Come back 5 years.
You all
from now.
agree with that?
Well, yeah, no passes. I've worked in entertainment for several years, and the amount of choreographers, makeup artists,
what I mean?
every
It's
musicians that are
It's
gay.
impossible.
So it is impossible that he doesn't know better.
So
Breathe, Jazz.
Breathe.
Say what you gotta say, girl. Say what you
One,
gotta
two,
say.
three. One,
So, I
two,
mean,
three.
You want me an extra
it'll be,
shot?
I mean, yeah. If you look, it'll be very easy to find. There's also been a lot of videos and pictures and text messages that have been leaked up with him being very queer and coming on to other men. And like, it's so.
really?
So self-loathing kind of thing.
So I don't think it's self-loathing. There's one thing like when you are queer, you're trying to push off the blame so people don't look at you in that way. Very much like that. But like there is very incriminating information out there.
So you're saying he's on the DL?
Is.
I love
I
that.
just
But
wanna-
like once again, so I do not believe, or I don't like when people put people on blast, or people like it's your business to come out when you're ready.
Right.
Now, what he did has sparked people like, okay, wait, but
Right.
this was also you when you were at my hotel room. So like, I don't support that, but I've seen a lot of those things.
I support people coming, taking him out,
No.
and just saying
Yeah.
that. I'm
I
sorry,
just-
this is what he does.
In this situation, like, okay, you had so much to say about this community, but clearly this is where you stand.
Exactly.
So it's a weird place to sit in the middle.
So-
I have made. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was about to say on that, if you or someone you know has been contacted by DaBaby on Grindr, please send us a screenshot or call us.
We want to hear about it.
You know, I just want to make a mention very quickly of a comment that I made when this was breaking news at Queer News Tonight. I have made the mistake a couple of times, and it was a mistake that I felt great regret on, in a secondary way outing someone publicly that I should not have done, and I've regretted it, and I apologized for it publicly and privately. But the comment that I made at Queer News Tonight on this story, without knowing anything like what you just said, is the old adage seems true to me. You know, when we see smoke, there is fire. And the adage is, he does protest too much. This was too strong of a statement, and continued loyalty to the strength of the statement. And we have to watch this story closely, because I think we're going to learn much, much more about DaBaby. And if that's the case, honey, come on out. You got lots of allies if that's what's going on here.
So that means to make a lighter note on this situation, can we just like shout out Madonna and her tweet and how she shut him down so classy, so effortlessly, and uplifted
Please
the community.
repeat for everybody in case.
Yeah, no, I don't remember.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was a beautiful tweet, and she read him to filth, and it was beautiful, and it was effortless. It was amazing.
And many
I loved
others
it.
too.
Yeah.
By the way. Interesting story, which at Queer News Tonight we for sure are going to follow closely. All right, well, that's our discussion on entertainment. Next, we report that the Happening Out television network helps support our LGBTQ community. An example is Sunshine Cathedral. Wow, if DaBaby doesn't like gay people, he really wouldn't like Sunshine.
He's going to become the gay.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great for us to have the broadcast? Is my queer church, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We're broadcasting from our permanent set here in supporting that partnership. Oh, wow. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world, with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live. And we encourage you to tune in. Our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports, in DaBaby's voice, Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
name is Gordon Woodworth III. I'm a non-binary pagan person from South Florida, an employee of Broward House, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Well, we thank It's Happening Out's hotel sponsor, Best Western I-95 Fort Lauderdale. This is the closest and best choice to the famous Wilton Drive. You've heard of Wilton Drive, haven't you?
Been there, been there a couple times.
Miami-Dade County, Shade, Reed. Our host and guests stay at this LGBTQ ally partner. We encourage you to stay here when visiting South Florida. Well, up next, if we were standing around the LGBTQ water cooler, this is what we would all be talking about. We refer to it as our hot topic of the week. Since the vaccines started rolling out, it was thought that very few vaccinated people could get sick. Bear Week on July 4th weekend in P-Town brought not only a massive breakout of new infections, but the realization for the CDC that the Delta variant can infect even those who have been vaccinated. It's called breakthrough cases, although the number is super small. They don't get sick, but there is infection of COVID-19. So our hot topic for tonight is Provincetown, COVID-19's outbreak shows strength of the Delta variant. What do y'all think about what we're watching going on in COVID?
Well, I think it shows the strength of the vaccines. And I think that because so much information has gotten out into the public, and the public doesn't understand healthcare, right? The vaccine does not put an invisible shield around your body that you can never be touched by things. But it does at 95% efficacy, keep you from getting severely ill or dying. And that's what the vaccine is for. And I think that P-Town was a great example of that. A couple of people actually had symptoms, right? They actually knew. They weren't sick for very long. The vaccine worked. And I think that we can use that story to say, look, the vaccines work. You can go party with your friends. If you are exposed to COVID, you're going to survive. You will, right? And you can keep going on with your life.
Before we explore other thoughts here on COVID-19, that specifically, why do we have a different standard on COVID-19 vaccine and the vaccine that we take for the flu shot?
The flu.
The flu shot is only 50% effective. And what year in the last 5 years have you heard this amount of conversation about, oh, I'm not going to get the flu shot because it's only 50% effective? Right. And this is 95 to 99% effective, and we pound it and pound it and pound it. What's going on?
I blame this on Trump. I think Trump is the beginning of all this. He was the one that started making a stink, that telling people that these were like fake news and all this kind of crap, and people still kind of believe that.
It's,
you know,
it's
I mean,
really
I really do believe in humanity. Like my wife is like, I can't believe that you're surprised. You know, my wife is a nurse practitioner, and she's like, I can't believe that you're surprised. I'm like, I am surprised. I thought we were smarter. You know, and maybe we're not. I don't know. You know, both my parents have COVID. One was vaccinated, one wasn't. I hate to think how bad my mom would be right now if she wasn't vaccinated.
Jasmine, you poke fun at popular culture in every possible way. We love that, by the way. To phase observation, are we smarter than this?
I think, from my understanding, you grew up in South Florida, right?
I grew up in Jersey.
You know, I mean, a more populated city. I think, you know, I think us big city people have a different mentality, and we have a different level of exposure to education and these kind of conversations. Visiting my boyfriend's family and being in a very, 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 very small town, very different conversations. I can see why they would allow the hysteria and the vaccine took too quickly. How did they make it so fast? And like all these other things, like I can see why in those situations they would have a different way of thinking. I just think like we're so exposed to having these kind of great conversations with educated people and being in an environment where we can easily educate ourselves and have vast opinions that we think differently. But I think in those other situations, they, like when I went to Minnesota, they were not wearing masks. And this was like right in the beginning of the pandemic.
Where was this?
In Minnesota. They were right in the beginning of the pandemic. Nobody was wearing masks anywhere. Like I brought like 16 with me. I had extra in my book bag everywhere I went, and nobody was wearing masks. They all thought it was a joke until it was like a huge factor in that state, and then they had to go and mandate. I just think we are very fortunate to be in a different environment.
Miami-Dade is not vaccinated. Miami-Dade is only 47% vaccinated, and most of Jackson's staff is not vaccinated. Yeah. And like, there's a lot of people in this city that are not vaccinated. So even though, that's the thing about, that's even a better question, right? So we live in this metropolis with access to all of this. Why are they still not vaccinated?
So then think about it. So if we have all this access to information and tools and resources, what do you think those small town people, they have less than we do. So we're expecting them to be, even at that 47% we are?
Go ahead, Cal.
I think a big part of this is our politicians,
Yeah,
because they
that's
have
the problem.
completely lost focus on why they were elected in the first place.
And it wasn't
They
to
were
be
elected to
doctors.
lead. They were elected to protect the people, our interests, to put our best interests first. But these personal agendas have come in, and because of Trump, it's gone completely sideways, and it's their own personal opinions, and they're spreading misinformation, and it's killing millions of people.
Yeah, but all these people are vaccinated, and all those people, at those helms are vaccinated, yet they're not telling others to get vaccinated.
And I have to tell you, Cal, I slightly disagree with you because my spiritual and political leader, Marjorie Taylor Greene, told me.
Your guru.
You are no longer able to drink on this show.
Am I cut off
You were
now?
cut
Am I cut
off.
off?
No more
All right.
I was never here.
Right. Jasmine is out.
MTG.
All right. MGT.
Hey,
Right.
MGT.
Or MTG.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I want to refine the conversation just slightly. Let's try to reduce it down into the LGBTQ community. We've brought some extra shots
Oh,
out.
God.
That
Whose
we're
idea
putting
was
in.
that?
Yeah, it was actually it was mine. Let's zero in on LGBT. Are we anti-vaxxers? Our community broadly, I know we are not at the table. Everybody at this table has been vaccinated. But broadly, is our LGBTQ community, not only here in Florida, but around the country, are we
we're
a
vaccinated.
significant percentage anti-vaxxers
No,
or not?
I think we're vaccinated.
I disagree, because only from my own personal experience, and the majority of my LGBT friends are not vaccinated.
Oh, how old are you? How old are you?
You don't ask a gay person
Oh,
their
you
age
can't
on
ask
live
him
television.
that. You
What's
saw his-
wrong with you?
Did you see his face?
But did you see
He
my
looks
face?
up
I was
and
like,
down
oh,
like,
my
I'm
God.
serious. Did you see his face?
Still haven't answered.
And Jasmine still calls him out.
On my birth certificate or on Grindr?
What are we talking about?
We'll use your grinder.
completely
Go
different
ahead,
age.
right, exactly.
But no, majority of my friends we're in our 30s and early 40s, and it's a large majority of them are not vaccinated, and they have lied about being vaccinated
Thank
just
you.
to say that they're vaccinated, and they won't get vaccinated because
How
their
is that
excuses.
possible? Let's assume for a second you're absolutely correct. My gut tells me you're right. But how is that possible in our community that wants to have a parade down A1A or Wilton Drive every week?
Right.
And for us to get back to that, or be in the Manor, or be in Hunters, or be in Twist, or wherever it is, be in the Miami Beach Parade, we have to have vaccination and a overwhelming percentage of vaccination. How is it possible that we're not?
Well,
I don't know
If
if
Grindr made it mandatory, for you to be vaccinated, then all the gay boys would be vaccinated then. Okay,
Well,
that's what happened.
Why I asked
Yeah.
about your age is because I think it's generational, right? And
I'm
people
27.
People in their 30s,
Thinking
they
of
didn't
lying about
they didn't live
vaccination.
through AIDS, right? When I said we're all vaccinated, I meant like all of our patients in healthcare, right? And all the FQHCs and stuff here. People are vaccinated because a lot of the people that are alive today just barely made it, right? I went to college way before you were born.
Yeah.
Like many of us that are still around, we were lucky to make it this far, right?
His
so
college roommate was Henry Ford.
Wow.
So when
to
I
know.
say we're vaccinated, I meant,
Yeah.
gay guys that have been around for a while are vaccinated. I think maybe the younger ones feeling invincible.
How
and
is that?
young and-
That's my question.
Generational
How is it
gap.
They just
possible?
pop
that.
PrEP and they pop, their one pill and they're good, and we didn't have those things, right?
But I
It
don't
was
understand,
like,
because their
so-
number one excuse is, I don't know what's in it. Well,
Well, you don't know
What about your
You
mom?
don't know what's in that bump you took at the Manor either, right? But you took it.
Hey, and you don't know what's in your rear end right now either.
Right.
What's the difference?
Is that their excuse?
that's their
seriously.
excuse. They don't know what's in it.
Really?
So
Yeah,
I will say that I have
so-
an opposite experience from Cal. Anybody that I know that is in my circle, we've all been vaccinated. Anybody who I have one friend who just started the process last week. But yeah, anybody that I know, we've already gone through that process. We've all reached out. We all have already taken care of that. I personally feel, for me, what was my driving force is I'm an entertainer and I work at so many different
And you're-
venues with girls. God forbid,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
take something that I meet either because I'm also a store manager at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I get it from one of my employees or a customer, and I bring it to one of my bars, and I get somebody else. Like, I wouldn't want that on my contract.
Yeah.
So for me,
Exactly.
that's been a conversation that I've had with all of my peers to kind of help facilitate that.
Let me
And Al,
zero the
maybe-
conversation in just one more finite area. All right, so all of the things that we're watching that's happening, Space Coast Pride is canceled this week. We're wondering, my goodness, what's going to happen this fall in terms of the go-forwards and cancellation. What can we do now, do you think, other than say, get vaccinated? I've been saying get vaccinated, get vaccinated. I have a host that was sitting next to me on this show in March of 2020 who died and infected me and infected Chef Josie. I was asymptomatic. Josie tested positive for 40 days. That's how we began pandemic. I have said over and over and over and over again, get vaccinated. What do we do now besides say that?
Everybody has to do their part, okay? Business owners have to start, just like in New York, that they're making you show your COVID vaccinations to eat at certain eateries, to go to their gyms. You have to prove that you were vaccinated. Do your part. Right here, It's Happening Out, you made it a point to make sure that we were all vaccinated before sitting in these seats. So that's everybody doing their part.
That's very important. And also, please get people to talk to people in healthcare. Whatever fears, whatever questions, if you want to know what's in it, we can explain to you what's in it. And we can explain to you what it does to your body.
This vaccine was 20 years in the making. This was not just made last year. Don't listen to the crap information out there.
Well, let us do our jobs, right? Contact people in healthcare and say, explain, so that you can get through that vaccine hesitancy. And we can help get that shot in your arm while you're sitting there. Once we have answered your question.
Last variant question. I'm sorry, go ahead. You were going to ask.
I think until it is mandated that everybody gets vaccinated to do whatever you need to do, it's not going to happen. How many years?
We're in Florida.
How many decades have we been telling
DeSantis.
we've been telling people to get tested, to have safe sex, to do all these? We've been giving them the tools. Like, it's always been a conversation. People still don't do that, and we saw what the AIDS has done to our community, and we are still not following those practices. So I don't think until it is mandated for COVID, I don't think we're going to see.
You make it mandatory for kids to go to school, okay? Why not make it mandatory for all of us so we can live our lives?
One last question, just short observation, feeling from you. Is the situation that we're in now and those that are choosing not to vaccinate, is it making you angry, and is your anger growing?
Yes, by the moment. By the moment. We wouldn't be where we're at right now if people would have gotten vaccinated sooner. We were free. We were feeling freedom. We were hugging again. We might go back to not again.
Because I think it's beyond being educated at this point, and it's ignorance.
No, now I'm treating people like crap. If I find out that you get sick, I go, there you go, job.
Well,
you don't want that after you.
Well, and that's what's happening to me, is that it's not anger as so much I'm losing my empathy for people. I'm losing my first reaction is always, let me take a breath and educate, right? And I'm starting to lose some of that, and I'm starting to get quicker.
You tumble into the last question that I want to ask related to this in COVID. Do we get to the point where we all go, I'm sorry for you, but I can't really care about this anymore? Are we getting there?
I think that's where we're headed, unfortunately.
It's going to be segregation soon, okay? The vaccinated people and the not vaccinated. Enjoy yourself.
Well, it won't be segregated, but a lot of people are going to die unnecessarily, because people are just stopping caring, and it's like, well.
Yeah, it's interesting you had mentioned about the vaccinated, unvaccinated, because I was actually in New York for 4th of July. And at the Macy's, the big fireworks spectacular, they were allowing people to go, but they had a vaccinated and an unvaccinated section.
Really?
Yes. And you had to show your vaccination in order to be in the better section, like I just say. And then the unvaccinated folks had to go to another section. And it's very interesting that that's what's going to happen.
I have to move on, but I have to say, this story is not over.
I'm mad.
It's not over.
Still mad.
Stay mad.
Faye is very
I'm like beside myself.
All right. Very interesting world that we're living in, and we're hoping for the best, and we'll have to fight through the worst.
2 quick pricks. That's it.
Oh, there's 2 of them, at least 2. Right. All right. Let's explore next the LGBTQ plus world this week with some silly or important headlines in the LGBTQ plus news that have happened this week. It's a lightning round. Let's discuss them in our segment called Saved by the Bell. But there's a twist. We are only going to discuss each of these headlines for just 1 minute. And at the end of that 1 minute, you're going to hear that bell. It's one of my favorite moments in the show. Here we go. After the election, the Happening Out television network celebrated the large number of openly LGBTQ plus officials elected across the country. Even then, we didn't realize just how many there were. Saved by the Bell. Headline number 1. LGBTQ plus elected officials historic. In the United States, the number is nearly 1,000, and that number is rising fast. What do y'all think?
We are in every state except Mississippi. They won't even hire a gay crossing guard there, all right? But we need more lesbian women. Come on, stand up, run for office. We need more LGBTQ people out there fighting for our rights and representing us. 1,000, that's it? Come on.
How exciting 1,000 is, but that is only 0.07% of all elected officials in America.
But how many were the year before? The year before that?
It's higher.
They're opening the door. We're giving the visibility that it's possible. You can do it. We're creating that platform.
Yeah.
A lot of people, like with Obama winning, yes, he's a black man, but it was more of the fact that other black children who grew up thinking, now I can aspire to that. And it's giving that vision.
Yeah.
So the same thing in this situation. How many kids grew up queer who had to, I could never be a politician. I can't be a governor. And now they have that as a goal they could potentially one day reach. They see somebody else achieving it.
I'm curious, have you ever said to yourself, Jasmine, Pryce, Lords can be the first Oh no, I've got to move forward. All right. On top of the high number of elected LGBTQ plus officials, the Biden administration has been appointing LGBTQ representatives to positions that we wouldn't expect. Saved by the Bell headline number 2. Joe Biden this week appoints an out lesbian rabbi to lead the National Religious Freedom Commission. Lesbians in politics. Who'd have thunk?
I think piggybacking on the last one as well, it's another election and it's another historic slay. You know,
is that surprising?
Is it surprising?
I don't think so. Maybe because I'm from New York. That's
do you remember 2018 and this president named Donald Trump? Is it surprising?
Yeah, no, I just think, the first graph, you know, some of those states is still very dangerous to be out and be gay. And I give those people a lot of credit. The 1,000 that are out there, it's still not
By
easy.
the way, one of those states is North Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And that's the truth, right? You can't really drive around Florida and just be out and be, come on, we can't be naive about this. People can get hurt.
Yeah.
But that's nice that he did that, but
Nice.
I don't know.
Paul
if
says it's nice.
I mean,
Nice.
the gay rabbi, that's nice,
No,
but
they
that's
give
not
her anything.
really.
She really deserved this. She is a
Yeah.
powerhouse and she fights for our
I'm
rights
glad
daily.
he did it.
There we go. A league, speaking of lesbians, a league of their own. Baseball,
Love that
softball
movie.
is an iconic movie.
Is that the
And
one with the
Rosie O'Donnell has announced that she, of course, is remembered in her role in it. And now Amazon is remaking the entire story as a television series.
Oh, cool.
Saved by the Bell. Headline number 3. Rosie O'Donnell is returning as a lesbian in a league of their own.
Marla Hooch, what a hitter. I love this movie. Like, it's on replay for so many different reasons.
There's no crying in baseball.
Oh my God, we could spend our entire moment or 1 minute on just
Wasn't
lines.
she a lesbian when she was first in the movie?
No, she had a boyfriend in there.
No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's right.
She had a boyfriend. At the dance, she was dancing with some guy and made out with him.
Oh, you
Made
mean
out
she's
with
a
him.
lesbian in the
She's
movie?
going to play a lesbian.
Oh,
I think
thought
she
you meant
plays. I
her.
think she plays a bartender
Yeah.
in the show that they're making. Like she's a bartender at the gay bar or
No,
something.
that's on the L Word that she's going to be on.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but Rosie O'Donnell was always great.
Yeah.
And we always knew and loved that she was gay, but she never really represented us. You know, she was never out kind of deal. And then she came out and like went crazy. Do you remember? Like
Yep.
she shaved
Oh,
her
she
head
did
and
go
then got
crazy.
like all weird. So it was like, no, go back in the closet. I liked you more when you were in there. So anyway, I love A League of Their Own. Everybody in the gay community loves A League of Their Own. So I'll watch it, and it's just not going to be 2 hours. It's going to be a series. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Rosie again on TV.
Actually, I was just sitting here thinking
missed
as
her.
I was listening to you talk
You were
about
listening to me. Yay!
it. You and Rosie have a lot in common. You're
I
both
can't wait to hear
very
this.
loud.
Oh.
More
But you
than
look better in a
100. More than 160 openly LGBTQ plus Olympians are competing right now in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
That's awesome.
More than ever before in history. In fact, twice the number of 2016 Rio. Saved by the Bell, headline number 4. Stephanie Dolson makes history as the first out American to win an Olympic gold medal. What do y'all think?
Awesome.
Fantastic. I mean, come on, go team, go Team USA. Yeah, kiss your girl on TV, make it happen.
It's beyond amazing.
Beyond amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, boys at the table, and I include you in this picture, 75% of all of the Olympic athletes that are in this are girls.
Women!
Wow.
Women! I will be covering the Tokyo Olympics, all right, live.
By the way,
girls' locker room.
Women playing sports, not surprised.
Stereotype!
Lesbian.
And here, right, exactly. Did you hear that? Lesbian! and the other thing, historic, of that historic number, a full 1/3 comes from one country. Do you know where it is?
U.S.
The United States of America.
Yes!
Isn't that exciting?
Woohoo!
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing because some of them are coming from countries. We did a story the other night, right, where people were getting outed and they were from countries where it's illegal to be
Yes,
gay. And
illegal
it's very
to
dangerous for them to now go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the young woman from Chechnya who can't go home. She's in Warsaw, Poland right now.
Yeah.
They won't let her back in her
Seeking
country.
asylum.
So for these athletes to stand out and be out and proud and take that on the shoulder and be that light,
Yeah.
hey, I'm all for it.
It's all, and go Team USA.
Girl power.
All right.
USA.
Exactly. The leaps of logic sometimes made by religious zealots to prove their points can be scary, but sometimes they're also hilarious. Oh, we've got one of those. Watch this.
No life can come from it. No family can come from it. When two people of the same sex get together, it's out of sheer wanton lust and pleasure only. For self. Nothing comes of it. No life can come from it. No family can come from it. And let me insert this. If you're an evolutionist, you have to be against same-sex union. If you're an evolutionist, and by the way, where have been the evolutionists on this topic? Because, listen, if you're an evolutionist, what is one of the statements? It's the survival of the fittest. But if evolution's true, then there would be no such thing as homosexuality.
That's right, that's right.
Because over the last 400 trillion, billion, zillion, quadbillion, zillion, nillion years, evolution would have washed that out. Homosexuality, LGBTQ actions prove the existence of God. Because God's word says this would be some of the outcome and actions of the last days.
Gaslighting to justify the existence of God.
So why are we still
God
here?
lives, right.
Yeah.
So, right-wing
Did you hear what he
pastor,
said?
Yeah.
right-wing, hold on, let me get the story out. Right-wing pastor claims gay sex proves the existence of God.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what he said.
What do y'all think?
It does, because God could only make something so beautiful as us, you know? I mean,
No,
plain
but
and
did you hear
simple.
what he said?
But if he's talking
he said
about-
because of the last days, that's the only reason that we're only here to prove that,
The last days are coming.
yes, not because, I mean, that was kind of crazy.
I
Did
think
you hear that
crazy.
guy?
I think
Very
we found
crazy.
who wrote DaBaby's speech.
He's the publicist.
Right, we found that's the answer.
Listen,
False information.
It was
Just
hard to
talking-
follow him. He was like
all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know one thing, this Mr. Jack Hibbs needs to get laid, bro. Like, big time.
He was
Maybe,
like,
maybe
big
he's on
bird.
the DL too.
Actually, it's funny that you say that.
Oh.
And the observation on Jack Hibbs, it's a big church. I think it's interesting that as an evangelical, which is what he is, he proves his embracement of science in the technical terms of cajillion, jillion, billion, zillion years.
Yeah.
Good for you, Mr. Hibbs.
But the Bible's only 2,000 years old.
Exactly.
So it
And
wasn't supposed to be
second,
that long.
his favorite, my most favorite phrase that he does, which is probably the most accurate, is his phrase, "Let me insert this."
Yeah, that was nice. That was
The traditional conservative Hallmark network shocked and delighted the LGBTQ plus community with recent lesbian representation. Saved by the Bell headline number 6. The Good Witch's finale heart-stopping same-sex kiss is history-making because it's on Hallmark. This is Hallmark television.
Guys, but Hallmark is so gay. Like, Hallmark is so gay. So, I mean, this is like a long time. I mean, come on. It's about time. It's about time, guys.
It's Hallmark.
I mean, it's Christmas in July, Hallmark. You know what I mean? It's gay as hell. Way gay. Flowers and gay and shoes and gay. Very gay. Like, come on.
We're not showing the video.
I've never watched Hallmark.
Wait, are we just gonna leave the mic on the table? Okay, fine. Yes. Category is all right. One of the biggest issues facing many who are on PrEP is remembering to consistently take their medications. Saved by the Bell, headline number 7. Long-acting HIV prevention drugs that are coming may be the key to beating the epidemic of HIV/AIDS in the United States. The announcements of perhaps a yearly embracement in terms of an HIV drug.
Yeah.
What kind of bullshit is that? You can't remember to take a pill every day? Like, I don't understand. Like,
No, you wouldn't have to.
And they keep on saying that it's the black and brown communities that can't and willingly not take that first, they'll forget a dose or whatever it is, But to be able to take this shot once a year, whatever it is, you still have to prove to them that you're committed. So you will have to still take the daily pill for a couple of months to show them that you're worth, getting this opportunity.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible to think that in this country, in the United States, we're very lucky.
Which we have everything.
We have everything at our disposal. And you look at other countries around the world that don't even have access to a COVID vaccine right now.
Or running water.
Running water, a flu vaccine.
Or PrEP.
you forget to take a pill.
Nothing.
And you forget to take
you forget to
Well,
take your pill.
I mean, but for a lot of reasons. For me, I'm very happy to hear this. We have long-acting shots that are out already. They can last 3 months. They can last maybe 6 months. And really, a lot of it is mental health. A lot of it is substance abuse. My patients that decide to take that little hit of meth or whatever, they don't take their medication when they're out there doing that.
Yeah.
And they come back and they're in big trouble. And so the thing is, if we can give them something to protect them and the people that they might be with along the way, better for them.
I want to ask a question because, as a healthcare, question, but is it because PrEP isn't taken as seriously as if you forget to take your insulin or you forget to take your blood pressure medication or you forget to take
a morning after
cholesterol,
pill, you're going to end up pregnant.
That's more have a deadly consequence.
Right.
So maybe the stigma is, PrEP isn't taken as seriously as it should.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry, got to move on. Finally, tonight, we are the LGBTQ community, which means...
Sex!
Okay, lesbian. So that means
Like my
sex
profile, I'm
and
holding my breath.
relationships. Exactly. So let's play another game. And our game asks, who would you do? Cal, I'm going to ask you so hard who you would do. And what would you do to 3 different interesting people?
Okay.
Tonight, it's our game. We've played this right from the very beginning. Next month, our 3rd year anniversary, we played it in every episode.
My notes.
It's called Shag, Marry, Chop. And our theme is celebrating staying home as COVID numbers rise with easy at-home exercises. So let's play with people who help us with those easy at-home exercises.
Oh,
and that is the lovely John, and we're going to show you that now, and Aston King, and Francis Corbin. Oh, Francis. Okay, people that are designed at home to help us. Now, this is exercise. You understand this whole...
I think I've heard of it once.
All right.
He's been to gym bar. That's it, not the gym.
Right. Jim Bar and Wellness Drive. Okay, that's good. All right. So, Shag, Marry, Chop, and let's start with Faye. Faye,
Why do you
who would
always
you
start
shag?
with me? You always start with me. All right, I'm ready. I am ready. Okay, so I am going to definitely shag Aston because his first name starts with an ass. So Aston, I am shagging Aston. And then I'm going to marry Francis because look at that squat. I can see him doing that squat on me. And then that means I'm going to chop the first guy because I can't stand lunges, and I just can't stand lunges. So, yeah, I don't like his shorts.
This is a tough one because all three are really...
This is very tough.
They are cute.
Paul, who are you going to shag?
Shag, Francis.
And because you're a muscle guy?
Yeah, well, yeah, Francis just has that little je ne sais quoi.
And that's really fun because Francis doesn't know it.
No, he doesn't. Francis doesn't mean he's French. Francis Carbon. No, that's not French.
Maybe. Absolutely. Okay, and who are you marrying?
Marrying. I can't marry Francis?
No.
Oh,
This is a game. Paul, you know this is not real. You're not going to get with Francis at the end of this show.
This is not like one of those reality shows where you get to...
No. This is not The Bachelor, right?
Aston looks like, he's the guy that's going to come straight home from the gym. So I'll marry Aston.
And so Lovely John is gone?
Yeah,
Me too.
John's got to go.
Okay, and Cal?
Cal's writing it down.
Cal,
he's so adorable.
Notes on who's going to shag?
He's going to look these guys up when we get out of here and send them a message. Hey,
hi. I'm going to share with you what I
got a good job.
I had a lot to consider.
What's your answer, Cal? Get it all together.
So I'm going to chop Francis.
But you have to start with who you're going to shag.
Yeah.
Let's start there. The game is called Shag, Marry, Chop.
All right, so I'm going to shag John.
You're going to shag John. And why are you going to shag Lovely John?
Because he looks like he'd be a great top.
Yeah. Oh, Cal.
Okay.
That was...
Let him be.
That was a read? Did you hear the giant shady read that you just got?
Just look at the moves.
Yeah, he totally ignored that question.
Leave him alone.
All right.
Continue.
And who are you marrying?
I'm going to marry Austin.
Aston.
Yes, Aston.
King. Okay.
Yes, because
and why?
Like marriage material, and he just looks great. Like he looks like
look at those shorts.
He'll maintain that body.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
And did you just call Francis fat?
No, but I'm gonna chop him because I think his poses are really douchey.
Wow. Okay, he got douchey poses.
All right.
Yes.
Now, our drag queen du jour, Jasmine Pryce Lord. Who are you going to shag?
So I just want to start off by saying I think that's a great reason why we're friends, because we definitely won't go after the same people. For the complete opposite.
And we've been friends for a very long time. Yes.
I would shag Francis because he looks douchey and it would be fun. Yeah. Fun to play with, not to keep.
Right.
Got it.
Mary, I would probably marry John because the way he's arching that back, don't let this wig fool you. I think he'd be a great bottom. That's why I knew top. I swear.
Look
at the dimples. Sorry.
You got lost.
So, and then Aston, again, it just doesn't do anything for me.
Really? Now, honestly, if you met him at Georgie's Alibi and he just totally flirted with you, you'd go, get away from me. I think you're disgusting.
I'd be like, wow, you're so nice. Let's have a shot.
It's great because I want to marry him, so it works out perfectly.
Oh, wait.
We're
You two would be hanging out.
Yes.
And Jasmine would hand off to you.
Yes.
While I appreciate the male physique, that's never been a deciding factor.
Yeah. Okay.
So, as beautiful as his body is, I'm not going to discredit his hard work. It's just, it doesn't call my attention.
Yes, it doesn't.
The way he's leaning over and arching that back up.
That's calling your...
Now that is, right.
That's it right
That definitely is like, toot-toot.
I'm sorry, what happened?
Nothing.
Don't let the wig fool you.
I'm sitting down.
Don't let the wig fool you.
Wait, what is... What is
full
that
attention is my full...
Wait, I have done this freaking show for 3 years, and I've never had a host sit next to me at It's Happening Out where doo-doo happened. Ever.
That you know of.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. All right, well, that's Shag, Marry, Chop. Before we end the show, we introduce our sponsor of the show, and it's called Jet's Pizza. Are you coming to South Florida? You've got to try this pizza of choice for the LGBTQ community. Can you put your tongue back in your mouth, please?
Put it in your mouth.
Jet's Pizza. We're getting ready to enjoy it here after the show.
Do you smell it? Smell of it.
It's a great show. Great pizza.
Good.
All right. Well, that's it, America, on South Florida. Another week with you at the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk show in the entire world. Before we sign off, let's hear from our hosts one final time as they wish you good night. And let's start with Faye What?
Faye What? I love to be next to Al when he's drunk. So make sure that you guys catch the Faye What show. It is on Tuesday evenings on my YouTube channel, Faye What on YouTube. Make sure you catch it. I am here with my favorite white person, Al Ferguson, on Monday and Wednesdays for Queer News Tonight. And then you guys got me right back here on IHO. It's Happening Out, where we talk about anything and everything, and we just have a ball talking about those topics that belong to us in the LGBTQ community, and nobody does it better than this group of people every single week. So thank you for allowing me to be me. Get vaccinated, please. You don't want to see this angry lesbian every Wednesday pissed off. Get vaccinated. Please, I'm going to turn into the Hulk. Get vaccinated, okay?
All
I'll
right.
give you a kiss.
Now, everybody else in South Florida, now you can turn the volume back up. And we have a good night from Paul Thomas.
Oh, good night, everybody. I had a great time being here. It was my first time here, and this was so much fun, along with, you know, some very serious subjects that we have to talk about. And I think it's great that we can do both, that we can talk about these subjects and we can laugh at the same time. Please, if you're not sure who to call me. If you have questions about the vaccine, if you want suggestions about where to go or who to talk to, I am here for you if you need me, but please talk to somebody in healthcare, get the information that you need to get, and get vaccinated. Pretty soon, we're going to be out of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you don't contact
I'm green.
Paul,
I'm green. Oh, I told you, get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. It looks like me on my period. Get vaccinated.
I'm waiting for you to sing a song from Wicked.
You look good, green.
and a special good night from Cal Gajraj.
Thank you so much for letting me be here tonight. It's a lot of fun. It's been a while. It's especially, you know, great to be around a lot of friends, you know, and have these conversations, have serious dialogue, laugh, joke, and pick fun at each other. I know it can't be stressed enough to, you know, wash your hands and wear masks and get vaccinated. But the important thing is to be smart and to seek the education and to be responsible.
Yes.
Thank you for being here tonight, Cal.
Yes.
And of course, we have a special good night. I have said this about 10,005 times. No, wait, I've said this cajillion, billion, trillion times.
Zillion.
Zillion, samillion times. Over the last 18 months in pandemic, almost nobody in the LGBTQ community has been affected as much and as adversely as our drag queens. And our drag queens have come back and they've helped continue to make us laugh even when times are sad. And we have a great debt and a thank you to our drag community. And of course, one of those is Jasmine Pryce. And we're really happy you're here, and a good night from you, Jasmine Pryce Lords.
So first of all, thank you for having me. I love being here. It's been a long time, so I'm grateful to be back. You can see me at Georgie's Alibi on Saturday nights for my Saturday Night Rewind, or on Thursday nights, I'm doing a new show at Hamburger Mary's, where we're going to be doing a talent competition. So if you're a singer, actor, dancer, poetry, whatever you want to do, come. We have a stage open for anybody in the community. I don't care what your gender, sex, body type is. Come out and show what you have and come hang out with us. We're all about having fun. We've been through so so much. I just want to smile. And if you haven't heard it today, I love you.
Yeah, very nice. Is it possible at the new Thursday night gig at Hamburger Mary's to come in for the talent competition and read the news?
Sure. As long as you bring enough people to cheer you on, the prize is yours.
And, right, to tip the drag queens. Okay, I got you. Absolutely. All right, so South Florida, is what you watched tonight important to you? You sat right here at the LGBTQ kitchen table. And by the way, Paul and Jasmine spilled drinks all over the table. So literally, we're talking about the kitchen table right along with all of us.
True.
We are here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. and it's live, unedited. Don't forget, Queer News Tonight is daily at 8 p.m. and Hotspots Magazine and WMEG events. Remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night, America.
Bye.